Bodies under the floor, secret tunnels and ghosts. 24 hours at Moresby Hall.
This is a silly idea.
Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. This week we've brought you to the beautiful Cumbrian countryside. With bodies found in the chimney and under the floor, a man starved to death and a wandering cavalier, we just had to come and investigate Moresby Hall. Moresby Hall is situated near Whitehaven, Cumbria. The hall has been a home since the 12th century and has had many noble people live and stay there. The first recorded possessor of the manor was a man called Morris, who settled here at an early period after the conquest and has left his lasting memento behind in the name of Moresby. The hall passed through many different families, but the most prevalent family to live here were the Fletchers. Opposite the manor sits the local church, which was once a Roman camp or fort. Its graveyard is home to many of the past residents that lived at the hall, mostly Fletchers. Many human skeletons and bones have been found throughout the house with no identities. With so much history and mystery surrounding this home, our night was going to be a long one.
Moresby Hall in Cumbria, possibly one of the finest medieval manor houses. Been there for many, many centuries, as have many of the families that occupied it. It was originally occupied by the Moresby family for many hundreds of years.
Now, when we bought the property, really we bought that place because it was so beautiful. We weren't aware of anything strange, but probably within a few months we'd done a bit of research and found out there was supposedly a ghost, but as a skeptic I never believed anything of it.
When we sit in the lounge sometimes we see a shadow going past the door, almost as if somebody's walked past the glass door, and it makes you just turn and look to see what it is. And there isn't anything, there isn't anybody there.
3 human skeletons were unearthed under this very spot, but who they once were, nobody knows. And since then, a dark, shadowy figure has been seen sitting in this corner, and misty shapes have been seen floating across the room.
There were some skeletons unearthed in the main entrance hall as you come into Moresby Hall. When the existing floor was renovated and the floor was tiled, apparently there were 3 bodies, skeletons, lay next to each other with slate between them, as if it had been a burial. Not very far down, and I think local historians have explained that this could be as a result of perhaps being part of the burial ground for the Roman fort at Moresby Church. And that seems a good explanation.
The ghost of a cavalier has been seen regularly walking up and down the stairs, and the cries of children have been heard in the dead of night.
The main thing for me was when I came downstairs once on a Thursday morning and I looked into the main entrance hall and saw what I presumed was an apparition of, like a musketeer, sat on the couch, which absolutely amazed me. And I shot off into the breakfast room to carry on with my work and didn't feel troubled by it at all, surprisingly.
I was coming down the stairs as I would just after getting up, and I just felt as if there was something with me. I stopped on the stairs, looked around, and I couldn't see anything. But Jane had a similar situation on the same day at the same time, which was a coincidence.
It was almost like a line drawing or a daydream, not exactly solid, not exactly see-through. Very difficult to describe.
Many people have reported hearing children playing, laughter and giggling, but always around the area of the staircase.
My son has heard children's noises. Perhaps with him being younger, maybe the situation is different with him.
Guests that have slept in this bed have woken up only to find a dark phantom walking towards them.
We seem to think that's one of the oldest parts of the building, and one of our guests during the night woke up and said she saw something in that room.
The staff have seen this figure, but also members of the public coming downstairs for their breakfast mentioned the dark figure that wandered out of the door in the middle of the night.
One of our guests has seen something, and she was quite convinced that she'd seen a ghost and was quite excited about it.
Phil Wyman, our paranormal investigator, had spent some time at the hall previous to the rest of the crew's arrival, so he could get to know the layout of the building. One thing that intrigued Phil was some bones that had been found by the present occupants.
There is an area in the building which could possibly be a tunnel that connected to the local church or a hidey hole. Now, the story goes that a Jacobite was actually placed in the hidey hole and starved to death. Now, interestingly enough, we do have these bones which were found. Now, we know some of them are definitely animal bones, but we don't know what the others are.
We've been led to believe there was a tunnel leading from the house to the church, and we've recently been doing some work in the area, and I did some exploration underneath the stairwell, and I found what seemed to be an enclosed area made out of stone, and just beyond that there was a mound of soil and rubble which we cleared out, and within there was quite a lot of bones.
I'm concerned about the bones that we found because we've absolutely no idea what sort of bones there are, but they're quite large and there's quite a lot of them. So we're going to be needing to explore that further.
I'm very, very interested to see if Derek will pick anything up about who these bones belong to.
We were all eager to find out more about Moresby Hall and its hidden secrets. Hopefully, our medium, Derek Okora, would be able to explain who the ghosts of Moresby Hall were and give us an identity to the bodies that had been found under the floor in the sitting room.
I just want to say, it's like as if I want to take away the picture of these tiles, the floor, and just, if I may, do it in a gesture. 1, 2, 3. And conditions of like a burial. And I very strongly, I feel as if I've got this like the trilogy, a 3. And the conditions. And also, away from the floor, as if I want to go with my back like this and say, behind me, whether it's here, but I also want to say bones. So there are bones here, the leftovers of the physical remains. I want to say, whoa, as if I'm on a stamp as well, and I want to walk in legion like this, and boom, 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 boom. And it's like, you know, I'm getting, now I'm going back again. I'm going back in the residual energy. And I want to say, down here, I feel as if I've got the conditions with Roman soldiers.
So the three,
yes.
you're saying, are the bodies of Roman soldiers?
I feel I'm led, you see, because I'm getting from that residual of the area, and it's being centred here. Hold on. Can I say these words as well? Bones. Is there a record of bones at this property?
Yes.
And they am I able to go and see them and touch them?
Yes.
Okay, because there's a very strong link here to connect or disconnect what is under the ground here.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Let's put the two
Do
together.
you want to do that now?
Can we do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go and see if I can find where they've been.
Okay.
Bones behind something, apart from the floor.
Yes.
Something to do hidden or behind something.
Yeah.
I feel as if it's got a strong connection with either an aperture or a fireplace. Something to do with that.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, and let's distinguish between, are these animal bones or are they human bones?
Good grief. Right, okay.
Okay? Because that's what I'm getting given.
Surprise me every time.
Yes. Thank you.
Right, let's...
All right.
There's one.
These are human.
They are human.
They're human. You see, you've got a mixture here. You've got human and you've got animal. There's a mixture. There's a mixture. Can I just touch each bag? Okay, just let me put my hands in. Thank you. Oh, yes. Now, why are the animal bones being put with the human bones? Someone put them together. By whom, I don't know.
You mean when they're in the physical, animal and human have been put together, or the bones have been put together?
The bones are being put together.
Right.
Are they old?
Yes.
How old? Can you sort of give us a rough estimation?
There's a very strong link with 11. It looks like 1160 or around 1160 for some reason. I'm getting close by, not in the building, but very close by to like a settlement or conditions of warriors, of soldiers, and also a lot of soldiers, a lot of Roman soldiers are laid to rest, are buried close by here.
There used to be a Roman settlement just up the road.
Right.
And they believe, I think I'm right in saying that the skeletons or the bones here were Roman. Three of them.
There were three. One was like a high ranking out of the three.
With no idea yet.
I get high ranking.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
There's also very, very strong ley lines here. Very strong indeed. Which would follow a tunnel. There is a tunnel. There is a tunnel. I've got a spirit person shouting to me. Come on, let's cut. She belonged here. She belonged here. Anne. And what? Anne de Moresby. Anne de Moresby. And someone else is shouting here, Weston! A Weston! She walks the stairwell. She walks the stairwell. Bless her! and there's a lot of activity that's not grounded. The spiritual energy of souls that have actually dwelt and had very strong links with this building.
Right, so they're coming in visitation.
In visitation.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you want to leave here and go somewhere else?
Can we?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
As Derek had had no prior knowledge of the location, we were all amazed at his accuracy. Would the night ahead continue to amaze us or terrify us? Many people had witnessed the ghost of a cavalier walking up and down the stairs, along with the sounds of children playing. However, Derek picked up on someone completely different.
There's a lady who comes here. The way they're giving it to me here is that the lady's energies would be linked with who? It sounded like Henry Fletcher. Henry Fletcher. And James. And Thomas Fletcher. Thomas Fletcher. The two. I feel at times this lady, whether it goes noticed or it's unnoticed, walks the stairwell. Mm-hmm. Walks the stairwell without a doubt. Her energy is here and quite active at times, okay?
Right.
It's like as if I've got two lots of energy here. I've got a group of the Fletchers.
Yeah.
And a couple of De Moresby.
Right.
De Moresby. Anne especially. Anne comes here, at times in a state of confusion. Something to do with a man. Oh, God, I can hear the voice now. I can hear the voice. She absolutely, the name Henry is abhorrent to her. She absolutely dislikes and hates Henry. He took my Francis. Oh, the anger. What happened? What happened? What happened? Henry. Come on, I'll allow you if you wish to come close. Henry executed him. She's a lost soul in that sense. She can't find him. She hasn't joined up with him. She keeps on coming into this atmosphere. So even truly in the realms of spirit, she hasn't joined up with this husband. Francis. She's still looking for Francis.
Who's the Henry?
Who's the Henry, Sam? King Henry. King Henry. King Henry the VIII. He lopped his head off. Took his head off.
Let's go on.
Yes.
Anne Moresby married Sir Francis Weston. He was beheaded after being implicated in the plot to get rid of Anne Boleyn. Did her ghost just wander the stairs, or was it her ghost that was making people terrified in the main bedroom as well?
Now, what is coming away from this bed here, and at the moment the energy, is if you were lying, or any of us here were lying in that bed,
Yeah.
at some time or other, I feel when the energy of activity really builds in this room, they would experience certain things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, noises, things happening and what have you. And I feel that would all be down to the activity of a woman, there's, without a doubt, this definitely has got something to do with the surname Fletcher,
Right.
female.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel it's got something to do with the name Henry. I feel it could have been a daughter, love.
Right.
If we get a voice link or something later on in the investigation, we might be able to pin it together.
Yeah.
But, yes. You know, it's funny, we're in this lovely building, this lovely home and what have you, and I'm seeing people, a lot of people being invited in, total strangers, all gathering together, and they're all sitting down at a big long table, and they're all eating very fine and grand food and drinking the top of the wines, and it's like as if these people were like, they travelled great distance to gather in this place. But that was ground floor. Ground floor. Where? Can we go to the ground floor?
Let's go back down.
Okay. Here in front of me now, in this energy, it's like as if a gathering of people were invited here. For what purpose, I don't know at the moment. But you know, in its time, like, we talk about celebrities.
Yeah.
Like celebrities. Come in, we'll wine and dine you. And this building, this particular building, has, in residual energy, has had different, I've got to try and find this right word, different usages.
Yeah.
Okay, right, okay. I've got an aperture, a very small aperture, that I'd like to be drawn to.
Okay.
And establish what it,
Okay.
what energy is with it, if I can. It's only small. We just go in this direction. Okay. It's in there. This is it, yeah. This is the area. This is the energy down here, Ivy.
Right.
Just let me place. Now, as you can see here, this little cutaway thing. But you see this wall here?
Yeah.
If we were to break that down and through, okay, that opens up. And that there, if you took that wall away, that is not a tunnel.
Right.
It's a room. That room, I feel, was used as some kind of storing place to hide something. Now I know. When I hope I know, I say that. When I said earlier about I couldn't understand why I get the animal bones mixed with the human bones. Now, going back in time and what have you, those ones that were incarcerated, buried and what have you, they were held for some reason in that area, okay? And then later on were moved, and that's when the mixture of the bones, they were moved to another place.
Right.
So you got the mixture of the bones,
Okay.
all right?
So
But
those
originally
human
housed.
bones are of somebody that was put in.
Yes, and you know, see that there? If that was taken down, you'd find more bones.
There? Really?
Yep, there's bones behind there.
What? So almost like a kind of little prison, or?
Yeah, a hold of some kind.
What do you think, were the bones put in there while they were living, or after they had died? Were they moved
I
in
feel
there?
just virtually around the time, okay, of them dying, of passing,
Right.
were housed in there for some reason. I'm feeling all claustrophobic here, and So if I'm feeling claustrophobic, it was a holding room or something where people were still alive.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The stench of that, if that wall was broken up, that energy would come rushing out into this pantry area.
What bad energy, bad?
Tragic, wretched.
Are the souls still in there, do you
Yes.
think? They are.
I feel that they're trapped, yeah. I do.
With part of our investigation completed, we now needed to continue in the dark, using our night vision cameras. Derek wants to go back into the haunted bedroom.
I do know for a fact, in my feelings and what have you, that we got nothing but benevolence, and we got benign, kindred feelings, okay? Nothing negative or even nasty as such on these upper levels. You see, we're getting a mixed energy now. Again, we're getting Anne that would have passed over in a grand old age, I feel. But then I get this younger lady's energies, okay? Now, I feel that's what's been happening in this room. Not at the same time, we get the older lady, so to speak, coming through. And then on another occasion, maybe another night, we get the energies when Anne had gone out the atmosphere of this younger lady. Most definitely a link. She was definitely Fletcher.
The younger lady
Yes.
was definitely Fletcher.
Yeah.
And a first name with this Fletcher lady?
I feel that's Margaret. It's got to be Margaret.
Margaret Fletcher.
Okay. And I feel that someone in this bed also, someone who's slept to the left side, or my right, if you like, has actually, unfortunately, undertaken or experienced one of the ladies actually coming at this point. And if they didn't feel so uncomfortable, I would say they'd want to jump out the bed. Because, you know, it's like when a spirit comes through our physical body, because we've got our aura, and a spirit walks through, so to speak, they'd feel as if they'd want to pull the sheets off themselves, because there's like this immediate rise in the body temperature.
That's interesting.
Almost, they'd probably be perspiring as well, within seconds.
Should we go somewhere else?
Yes, yeah, fine.
The present owner of the hall, David Saxon, was listening very carefully to Derek as he and the rest of his family had seen and felt ghostly activity. They all wanted to know in particular who or what was making themselves known on the stairs.
You see, you've got three gentlemen that must have had experience at some time in this building's history. These are not spirits that are grounded here, as we would say, haunting the property. They come in visitation. Best part of the time, I feel that they tried their best to be as quiet as possible, to try really to go unnoticed.
Right.
So not here to disturb or distress. They just love remembering this place that they must have lived or had very good experiences with. And one of them, well, two of them actually. One is William, thank you, Sam, William Fletcher. He's one of them. Another one is Henry Fletcher. And there's another one. Then two virtually come around the same time. But there's a big gap for some reason. And the name Thomas Fletcher. Now, Thomas, when he does come into the atmosphere, walks round and up these stairs and goes right up.
What, can I just ask how you actually see him, if you can at all?
Okay. I get this man to be about 5'6", 5'5", 5'6". Would have carries a little bit of weight, okay? Portly. Very sharp features. The nose area. there's another part of residual energy coming into this atmosphere, even on the upper levels. You know when you hang game birds and you hang them for so long, I pick up an array of fragrances wafting up at me because I'm open psychically, and it's like game birds. I'm also smelling like pork, pigs, and I'm getting hooks hanging of stuff like this, and it's just like, and I feel that could be attributed to the area of something to do with a farm building, farm. I get that. It's all mixed in here. And it's like, you know.
We've got meat hooks in 2 rooms, in the ceilings. And Derek couldn't know that because he's not been in either of those rooms.
There you go.
So there's the energies coming in, you see, showing those.
They're still there.
They're still in there, yeah. So the oldest hanging.
Gosh, that's amazing. You're smelling all the fragrances and everything.
The time had come for the crew to split into groups. We needed to cover the house, the graveyard, and the outbuildings, as all were known to be paranormally active. Richard Felix and his team sat and waited for something to happen in the sitting room. Rick and Craig went to the haunted bedroom, and the team of girls went to the graveyard. Derek, Carl the director, and myself went outside. Earlier in the evening, Derek had talked about a tunnel.
There is a tunnel. There is a tunnel.
He was convinced that a particular outbuilding held a key.
Yeah.
It's definitely in here, isn't it, Derek? It's definitely in here, is
Definitely
it?
here, yeah. To the left side.
Left.
Left side, yeah.
I can't see down it, what we're walking down.
Cool. Burn it.
Oh my
Is this it, Derek?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Sorry. I'm sorry, but if there's any movement, activities to the front of us, or have you, we come back.
Don't you worry, Derek. I'll come back
Okay.
pretty quickly.
You're all right.
Where do you want to be, Derek? If I go front...
I'll come after you, and if you can come after me. Is that all right for you? Or do you want to go in the middle?
I'll go in the middle, thank you.
Okay. This is it.
Oh! But what are we standing on? What are we standing on?
Stones and soil. Let's go along, because I feel that there's energy here. There's no two ways about it.
Mind your head here, guys. It gets a bit lower up here.
Oh my god, I don't like this.
It's fine, it's cool. What's the matter?
I'm just stood on some...
I know, I don't even actually put the camera down because...
Jammed inside a secret tunnel in total darkness was not my idea of fun. Would we come across anything paranormal?
Derek, with this...
What are you on?
What's the matter?
An energy at the back of me here.
At the back of you?
And it's like pushing me. I've not had this before. You okay? You all right?
Somebody just touched my leg. Somebody just
Yeah.
touched my leg.
This energy is very, very, very close to us here now. Right
It's
now.
all right. You're standing on a piece of wood there. Was that it?
No, something touched my leg, my knee.
Oh.
The energy came
No, it's
forward,
fine.
you see.
There's just quite a big...
What?
And all.
Yes.
Look.
Don't tell me what it is.
It's all right.
It's not funny.
It looked like an orb.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh,
There's
do you hear that?
There's definitely energy here.
Good God, is there?
And you know what? It's just come past us.
Is it in front of us or behind us, Derek?
It's gone to the front of you now, Carl.
Where are you, Carl?
Here.
Okay.
Right, just... Great, there's a corner. I love corners.
Sorry.
Right, there's loads of rubble here.
I think I might wee myself.
You're right. You're fine. Right.
Okay.
I'm just going to put this camera around this. There's stones at the bottom right here.
Okay. Does it stay the same width, Carl, as you go along?
Yeah. Yes, it does actually. Would this have...
This is a building covered into another building. It's like an outer wall
It is, isn't it?
covering like an inner skin.
But what would they have used it for?
Tell it them on, because it's just given me like two different types of vibrations. You're okay. You're all right. You're okay. Don't worry. What? Did something hit you?
Something just blew or was whispering in my ear.
Yeah. Well, look, just
It was like-
prior to that,
It
Carl.
was like...
Yeah, it started here. I could hear it here, and it's rushed past me and come to you. There's an energy of a man, without a doubt here.
We've got to go down here. The only time I've had a feeling like this was at Athelhampton Hall.
Yeah.
Where there was a corridor. I don't know if you remember. There's a corridor, and Rick and I wouldn't go down.
Yes.
And we went down there eventually, but I'm getting the same thing here. Is like we're not wanted down there.
Yeah.
Should we carry on?
Yeah. You're all right, Jimmy. You'll be okay. Don't you worry. Yeah. Okay.
God, do you know, I'm feeling really like I'm not supposed to be in here.
Yeah.
God.
What were you listening for?
I thought I heard a whisper. See, have we come down because we are that above us?
That's right.
That stone.
Yeah, it is.
Have we come down?
No, but this is like... That there is a floor.
Right, there is an opening. I think it finishes. It ends.
Is it?
I think so.
There's nothing on the right there.
There is a hole on the right hand side.
Oh, what was that?
What?
Something's just whacked that thing up at the back of my leg.
What thing?
This wire.
Did I step on it and it's really long and it's whacked you up at the back?
No, you're well forward. Here it is here. And it was just like whack at the back of me calf. And then plonk down. There's an energy. There's definitely a man's energy that doesn't want us to be here. Come back, Carl.
Was that
Now.
you, Carl?
What?
Did you make that noise?
No, something just made a noise here.
Yeah, let's not go any further on this then. Definitely a man's energy. Definitely a man's energy.
What did you hear? I heard a type of clink.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
did I, like someone was moving.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me move my feet. So we were moving our feet.
Yeah, but that wasn't like the sound
No,
of
it
his
was
head.
a perfect clank.
No, if it was sound like something breaking.
Should we go back?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm just intrigued what could have made that noise.
Yeah.
Well, let's walk back and see if it does it again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking people at home will probably say that someone was throwing things or whatever. If at least if we throw something up in the air, if
Yeah.
it's a different noise when it hits the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You up for that?
Yeah.
Alright, so... Right, I've just picked up a stone.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. I'll throw it in front of me, so it doesn't hit anyone else on the head. Right, I'll throw it up in the air. Listen.
No, it wasn't that.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Well, that eradicates us throwing anything then.
Yeah.
Just be really careful there, Derek.
Yeah. You both see, you're alright.
Yeah.
Okay. What the? You okay? Yeah.
What's up?
I just got stuff across both of my eyes.
You alright, Derek?
Yeah. I'm okay.
What do you mean, what sort of stuff?
Oh God.
What's the matter? It's alright.
You okay, Derek?
Yes, yeah, fine, I'm okay. Come on then. Sam, push him back and he's trying to prevent us. Come on. Okay.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Okay.
Wait, hang
You're alright, love, I'm with you. You're okay.
on.
I'm coming up.
Come on then.
Oh,
Now watch your feet as it goes up and down here. Come on, yeah, look at the stone, see? I've got you.
okay. Is it me or has it got smaller?
Slightly, yeah. It's gone a bit tighter, hasn't it?
Uh,
Well, it seems to.
oh,
Seems to be narrowing, doesn't it?
yeah. Oh,
Okay, Carl.
Come on, fine.
Come on.
Sorry.
Up you come.
Shit.
what's the
You're
matter?
alright.
I couldn't move.
Yeah.
It was like something I had.
He's
I'm not-
pulling you.
I thought I should probably ruin my bloody coat.
Oh no. Who's it pulling you, Carl?
It just wouldn't let me. I started to walk and I couldn't. My right
held
arm.
you.
I couldn't
He held you.
move my right. It's like I'm on a slave.
Yeah.
Right, come on.
I need to get out.
Carl, come on.
Let's go.
Come on. Now watch your head here, because there's a beam here on.
Bloody spiders.
Okay. Come on.
Oh,
Come on then.
I hate spiders.
Oh no. Come on, okay. Very
What was I
brave.
doing?
Keep it up, come on.
Stupid idea. This is a silly idea.
Dark, damp and claustrophobic. Never again. Was there something in the tunnel that we couldn't see, or was it just our minds playing tricks on us? We weren't the only ones who were having trouble with their nerves. The girls had been told to investigate the graveyard, and it wasn't going well.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
What's the matter,
I don't know. I'm freaking out now.
What's the matter?
I just felt something, as if something was behind me.
Should we go further in?
What? What did you hear? Oh, just like something was rust. Oh, God, in the grass and everything.
Where? Where?
Like, just behind you. You're joking?
No.
Right, just keep calm, keep calm.
Oh God, I smacked myself with the torch. Oh God. It was panic to move out the way.
That's like fear breeds fear.
Inside the hall, various crew members were conducting vigils and investigating parts of the house. In the sitting room, nothing seemed to be happening until the dog started barking. We did know know that the dogs did quite frequently bark and growl when there was nothing there. Could they be seeing things that we couldn't? We decided to tell 2 other members of the crew about the tunnel and insisted they go and investigate it. Phil Wyman and Rick, one of our cameramen, knew that we had previously been there, but they hadn't been told what had happened. Would they experience the same things?
Oh, you're having a laugh. Is it just this?
Yeah.
No. I thought it was like a big cavern thing.
It's a bit...
Is it just like this all the way? Or does it open up?
It's like this all the way.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's a bit squidgy.
So we're going to spend an hour like this, do you know?
Right.
Whoa, I just heard something behind me. I've just heard something behind me. Just like a shifting of feet as if something was following me then. No word of a lie.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, let's carry on.
You alright, Phil?
Was that you?
No.
That bang?
That was you, wasn't it?
No.
Whoa, right, you face that way, I'll face this way.
Fucking hell.
What the fuck's going on then, Phil? I thought that was you.
No, mate. Did you feel it move as well, the sort of thud? Fuck
The
me!
fuck's that? Did you hear that?
Fuck me!
You alright?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to go out?
No.
We've just heard
2 of the loudest bangs you will hear in this vicinity.
What was that?
I don't know.
Is there something in front of you?
Face this way. Oh, something just hit me on the leg! Fucking hell! Get out, let's go. Backwards.
Something's just
No, Rick, we can't go.
No, we're not going. We're here to find it.
We'll stay.
Let me get the gauze meter out.
Are you sure it was something at your leg?
Well, did you hear that again, the bang?
Yeah.
Something's just been thrown at my leg. I'm just gonna point my camera down. Whoa!
What's the matter?
I've just heard something.
Calm down, Rick, calm down.
Something's just been thrown at my foot, I'm telling you. We're hearing a lot of loud bangs. I have to say, I am very freaked out.
No, you're not the only one. You're right.
I've got to say, I'm absolutely petrified. So claustrophobic. I've never been so scared in all my life.
The space here, I can't face onwards to the camera because my shoulders will be touching the wall. I am so jammed in.
Well, can you get around there?
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Okay.
Come on, Rick. Face this way with me, mate.
Just the corner.
Yeah, I don't really want to go around it. I can't help it.
You know when you get the feeling you're being watched?
Yeah, well, let's go.
Is that getting very thin?
Yeah.
Alright, Phil. How you feeling?
Nervous now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Just down.
I can feel your leg shaking, Phil.
I'm sorry, mate. Are you shaking?
Yeah, I'm shaking like a leaf, mate.
I can hear it in your voice.
It's not that, it's like there's nowhere to run.
I know, that's the security.
It's one way in and
Don't
one way
panic,
out.
all right?
I'm not going to
do
panic.
like so far. We've panicked, but we've stayed here.
During the investigation, our crew did split up to cover the building and the grounds, but unfortunately, very little happened. It did strike us that a lot of strange activity was centred in the tunnel, and no one, even Derek, understood why.
I turned off the road, saw Moresby Hall, nestling down here in the valley. A bit bleak, little bit ominous. I thought, yeah, this looks good.
What can I say? Derek came up with some fantastic information, all spot on as usual. The thing that I was most impressed with about Derek was the fact that he came up with the 3 skeletons that were found buried near the fireplace in the main reception.
Everything he said, there was me standing very close by listening, nodding my head all the time. Everything true, everything right.
The rest of the investigation was a little bit slow. There wasn't an awful lot found in any of the other rooms. The crew didn't really find anything in the house as such. But when we came outside to the outside tunnel, things started getting really strange. We encountered some strange sounds, most of which can't really be explained.
I believe that this home here is active with spirit presence. The best part of being visitation presence, not so much grounded, as we would generally call a general haunting.
Looking at the experiences that the crew had in the secret tunnel, I find them actually quite fascinating, but primarily from a psychological point of view. And this is because I think a large proportion of those experiences can be explained in terms of their own expectations and anxiety about what they're going to experience. I mean, it's very, very late at night, they're going into a very dark and claustrophobic tunnel, so any small sensation, whether it's kind of a draft going past or a noise or anything they're not quite sure about, will easily become magnified and be interpreted perhaps as a ghost. And you can see that the crew members are very frightened, particularly Yvette and also later on Rick, are very concerned about what they might experience and the fact they can't get out very easily if suddenly something was to happen. So I think a large proportion of those experiences can be explained in terms of conventional psychology. Having said that, also when Rick and Phil went down, they both heard some very loud bangings, which probably weren't easily explainable in terms of just a subjective experience, i.e. there was no real sound there, they just thought they were hearing a banging. And it didn't seem as though either of the 2 people involved actually caused the bang. So you're left there with, you know, a loud noise, which at the time they found was quite worrying, quite frightening. But all you're left with really is a bang with an unknown source.
Well, an interesting night was had by myself and some members of the Most Haunted crew. Until the next time, sleep tight.
I'm going to bed. I'm home to bed.
Potholing with ghosts.
Most haunted potholing.
Coming soon to TV near you.